That's it. Yes, it's over now. Yes. Well, this is the thing. The sort of rebranding tour, of course, of Harry and Meghan out in Colombia. Well, is it a success or not? It depends on which frame of mind you look at it, of course. From the Sussexes' point of view, they were considered a success. But it didn't conclude without this particular diva moment. But as ever, once again, surrounded in controversy. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much as ever. And thank you, by the way, for your lovely comments regarding the seaside donkeys. I love them too, yes. And they're just nice, aren't they? Just nice animals, you know. And I like the fact they look the sort of non-complaining type, don't they? And as long as you feed them and they're well looked after, and they all are in these places, let me tell you, I've watched them. And they seem very happy, in fact, you know. What I like about them, it doesn't matter whether they're walking them in or out, though. They're kind of like, oh, another day, yeah. Tough day on the beach. But they're lovely, lovely animals, aren't they? So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that particular story. And I think it'd be a big mistake if they decided to pull that English tradition. I don't know if it's tradition in your part of the world, whether you have them on your holiday destinations, but it would be a shame, wouldn't it? Now, back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, you know, a lot of people have been very critical, as one can imagine, of the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, cable TV actress Meghan Markle, you know, from the, as we pointed out, unfortunate stains on her recent outfit. You know, again, a lot of people are saying, well, you know, you've got to look at the climate. If I'm honest, I don't know anything about this thing. You know, blokes just get jackets and trousers. I thought actually Prince Harry got the right idea. He understood it was going to be warm, so he was in a lot of linen and things like that. He didn't look flustered, did he? Clearly something's bothering Meghan. Yes, a bit of a weight off her mind, as it were. But on the other side of the coin, according to a very well-placed source, you know the bit where she started to waffle on in Spanish, and you know, I can't speak that language, so I thought whatever, whether she got through it or not, you have to applaud that level, because to do it in front of the world's press, as it were, she continued and all of that. But as ever, it's surrounded by a bit of a mystery, because just before she started that particular speech, she made this big dramatic thing of taking out her earpiece. Now, for those that don't understand, an earpiece, I wear them every day on TV. They're very annoying, let me tell you. You have the producer, the director, the whole gallery twittering on in your ear about, Neil, move to this story. Neil, you've got 20 seconds left. Wrap this up. Oh, you know. And if you look a little bit perplexed, you're like, right, okay, I'm not quite sure what we're doing here. You know, that sort of thing. Now, again, it gets very confusing, because obviously Meghan wanted to make a point that she wasn't being fed this particular story. Again, with Meghan and Harry, nothing is very simple, because according to a source, yes, she pulled out the earpiece, which is the wire one, you know, which is normally attached to the back of your jacket. But there is a brand new version now, which is simply called an earbud, and that's sent through a signal of Wi-Fi. And a lot of people are basically saying, and as ever we have to say allegedly, that she still had that in, and she was still being fed that particular information in. Now, these are tiny little things. I think a little bit like an hearing aid. I think that's where they came from, you know, the idea of this. Now, I don't like wearing them myself in case they slip too far down. I prefer the moulded piece, as it were, but some people do. Now, this is, again, what's now created something of a controversy, because when you think about it, you do come away thinking, unless she then was to turn to camera and say, look, there's nothing in my ear, it will go on, and that's the problem. Now, as we know, Harry had earpieces in to tell him, you know, what people were saying, as many people do when they go on these foreign trips. But the other side of it is, if Meghan thought this was going to put to bed that particular scandal about could she really speak Spanish, was she just learning a minute's Spanish? She is an actress, she should be able to memorize things very quickly. She claimed it was over 20 years ago since she learned it. Well, a lot of people are very still skeptical of exactly the truth behind that story, and this is the problem going forward. They will never stop, because the bottom line is you've lied to the public, and once you've lied, then people decide their own truth. And in the case of Meghan, doesn't matter what you do, quite frankly, no one's going to believe you. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.